Imagine knowing exactly where your business stands at all times. Well, if you're tracking and measuring, which is one of the key disciplines to any real estate business, you'll be able to do exactly that. I'm going to break down what you should be tracking and measuring, the best guidelines to not tracking too much and also tracking just enough, and show you the key performance indicators within your business as a real estate agent. So if you get some value out of this, you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can hit the bell for notifications. If you want to schedule a call with our team about how we can help you create a sustainable and repeatable business through tracking and measuring, all you have to do is schedule a call with our team with the link in the comments. Tracking and measuring, one of the 5 key disciplines when it comes to real estate. If you're not tracking and measuring, you really have no idea what's going on in your business, which is a scary place to be. And just imagine you're watching the Super Bowl and you have no idea what the score is. There's no scoreboard. You don't know what's going on in the game and you don't have that same rooting interest. Your business is no different. So why tracking and measuring matters is that you need data to drive decisions, because if you don't have data, you're just guessing. And without numbers, you're running blind. So let's say your goal is to sell 24 homes or 30 homes, but you have no idea where the leads came from, how you're converting them, what lead sources are profitable for you, whether it's a referral, it's a social media post, it's an expired listing, it's a direct mail campaign. Well, then you can't focus on the areas that are providing you clear, sustainable results. And real estate agents do this all the time. They sell a lot of homes doing one thing, and then they decide, hey, I don't like that anymore. I'm going to do something else they have no proven track record with and no data. And what ends up happening is it actually cripples their business. So if you're not looking at the data, you're not paying attention to these things, you're guessing, and you're guessing with your income and your well-being. So that's why tracking and measuring matters. Now, there's a lot of questions like what to track. So the things I'd be looking at, if I was you, and this can go, I'm going to go very general here because every real estate business is a little different. You want to track where your leads and sales are coming from, what lead sources are converting for you, how many conversations you have to schedule an appointment, how often your appointments happen, your appointment show rate, how often appointments turn into clients, and how often clients turn into sales, meaning are they signing agency agreements with you and then are they going under contract and actually transacting? If you know those numbers, conversations to appointments, appointments to agency contracts signed, agency contracts signed to actual sales, that's going to give you your conversion funnel. And then you can business plan your daily activities in a really easy way. So how do you track conversations? Well, how many calls do you need to make to have a conversation? How many appointments do you need to go on to obtain a client? These are the questions you want to ask yourself. And then you can come up with these short-term goals where if my goal is to sell 30 homes and I know that every 3 people I meet with, one of them turns into a client, and typically 75% of the time the client ends up transacting, well, you reverse engineer the math and you know exactly how many appointments you need to go on in a week, in a month, and in the year. And it makes your business very scalable. So that's something you want to track. You also want to track financial metrics. What's your net dollar earned? Not the gross. This is what agents track all the time. How much money are you making from each lead source, and what did it cost you? There's a misconception out there for a lot of people where they look at referral fee-based leads, right? And they have to pay referral fees, so they don't make as much money, but it didn't cost them anything to actually get that lead. So while they may not be making as much money, it could be the most profitable because they're not outlaying as much cash. So this is the kind of stuff you need to look at. What's your average commission per sale, per lead source? So when you understand all these things, and there's a lot to go into here, then you're going to be able to understand and plan for your business. Now, then you need like a tool or a method to track all this. So using your CRM is going to make it really easy. If you put everything into the CRM, then you're able to track your conversations, your appointments, and your sales. And then if you use some sort of tracking software, and we'll show you what you're closing, where the leads are coming from, and the data will tell you what to focus on so you know exactly what you want to do. Even if you're tracking in a spreadsheet, that's going to be better than nothing. The problem is most agents don't even track all this stuff. So using a CRM and some sort of business intelligence software, a good organization should be able to help you with this. They'll create dashboards. You'll be able to see everything visually. It goes a very long way. So then the question becomes, How does tracking and measuring lead to growth? So when you look at your conversion ratios, I've seen agents where they had to meet 7 new people to win a client over. That means 6 clients didn't like them. You know what that tells me? They need to work on their appointment skills. What's going on at the appointment? What are you doing before the appointment? What's happening after the appointment? That number is going to be too high. You really should be at a 2 to 3 to 1 ratio, meaning every 2 or 3 appointments, you win a new client. If it's higher than that, you've got to work on your appointment. Now, the flip side is if you have to talk to 30 or 40 people to schedule an appointment, that tells me your scripting's not strong, and you need to work on your scripting to be able to better set appointments and qualify folks, right? And then if you're not making enough calls and you're complaining about your business, but there's no outbound activity, well, then you can look at that and say, I need to do more things that I can control, more outbound income producing activities that get me on more appointments so I can sell more houses. So the beauty of tracking and measuring is when we look at these things, it tells us what's going on. The problem with real estate agents, most real estate agents do this. They tell themselves a story inside their head and they made up based on what they think is happening versus what's actually going on. So you can see someone selling a lot of homes, but maybe they're a lead hog. They take all the leads and they convert very low percentages of them. They just have more bats than anybody else. That can be a problem. So you have to look at all the data in totality. You can't segment it. You can't say, well, we don't count this, we don't count that. A lead is a lead, a conversation's a conversation, and a client is a client. So then when you look at those trends and you know what the baseline metrics are, then you can actually make meaningful changes in your business. You can determine what skills to work on. Because if someone's not hitting their goals, it's one of 2 categories. It's an activity-based issue or a skill-based issue. The activity-based issue is you're not doing enough things to generate appointments and get in front of clients. The skill-based issue is that you're getting in front of people and you can't get them to the next step in the funnel and get them to a closed sale. So when you see all those things happen, right, you've got, what you're tracking, what numbers are going to drive your business, what lead pillars are working for you, what lead pillars are the most profitable, and what your conversion ratios are, then you can have that all-important meeting with yourself if you're not getting the kind of results that you want, so you can see, hey, here's the areas I can improve. I'm not guessing, this is actual data, and the data never lies. That's the value in tracking and measuring.